Namaste. Okay, so it's the last chapter of Garuda Purana and has no translation. And it's very short. I feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? I forgot to drink water. Yeah. Okay, so it's only 17 verses long, 16 verses long. Shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. Atha Mahatmya Shri Bhagavanuvacha Nityakhyatam Maya Darkushir Salvamevaltva Dehikama Dashaha Pianantare Shrutva Salvapa Paiha Pramutyate Idam Jamushimikam Kaima Petra Mukti Pradayakam Putraban Chitadam Jaiva Paratreha Sukha Pradam Idam Kaima Na Gulbananti Ye Na Sutikanara Tamah Teshum Jalama Peyam Siatu Suratuliyam Na Samshayah Devatah Pitarashijaiva Naiva Pashyananti Tadguruham Pavananti Deshum Gopena Putrah Pautrashcha Tulgatah. Brahmanoh Kushotriya Vaishyah Shudrashijai Bettare Pi Jan Te Janando Lasama Jinyaya Salve Pratakriyam Vina Pratakaripamidam Punuyam Shurnoti Shravayatja Yahu Upau Tao Panilmukutao Dulgatim Naiva Dulgatim Naiva Gachachatahu. There's no digital copy of this chapter. No translation and no digital copy. Mata Pituroshicha Maranue Saopalnam Shirunute tu Yahu Pitarao Mukutima Pananao Sutahu Sanantatimanam Pabetu Na Shurutam Garudam Yena Kaya Shiradatam Ja No Gurutamu Purushotta Salgahu Guruto Naiba Na Ja Masikaba Shike Sa Gatam Gatyate Putrahu Gatam Muchiedurnotrayat Mataram Pitaram Jaiva Gatam Tarayitum Kushomahu Tasmat Salva Prayatanena Shrotavyam Garudam Kila Taimal Takama Mokushonam Dayakam Tuhokana Shanam Puranam Garudam Punuyam Pavitram Papanashanam Shurunun Batam Kamana Puram Shrotavyam Saivadaiva Hi Brahmano Lapate Vidyam Kushotriyahu 뿌리티빔, 라페트, 마이시오, 타니까타메티, 슈드라흐, 슈드티아티, 바타카트, 슈르트바, 다나니, 데야니, 바자카야 킬라니, 자, 볼보그타 샤야나디니, 나니아타, 사팔람, 파베트, 부라남, 부자야트 볼밤, 바자감, 따다나는 따람은, 바스트라 람까라 고다날 다쿠슈노 피시 바스트라 람까라 고다날 다쿠슈노 피시자 사다라무. You guys ready for changes? 2 more verses and the whole world changes. 아는나이시짱 해마다나이시짱 부미다나이시짱 부리피흐 부자야드바 자감 파크디양 바후보누야 팔라브다예 바자카시알 짜네나이바 부지토함 나 삼샤야흐 사는 두실두이땀 야미 바자케 나트라 삼샤야흐. Take the demons. Iti Shri Garuda Purana Shravana Palama. Once again, there's no translation. Alright, so starting tomorrow, I'm gonna read it again from the beginning. Is this too low? Testing. Okay, I think that works. Alright, so I'm gonna take a little break. And then, what do I do now? Bhagavata. Alright, so I completed Garuda Purana once. What does that mean? It means a lot of changes in the world. This world is made of Sanskrit. Sanskrit is the computer programming language for this reality. And, if I change my surroundings, and now we have the internet, so whoever's watching their surroundings, things are gonna change. I've done my part. Okay. Well, I'm gonna read it 3 times at least, probably like 5 times. I'm very, very OCD when it comes to learning things. This doesn't work well with friends or relationships, with humans, not even with animals, but with learning. I'm very, very, very OCD. Okay. Oh, and I'm gonna start posting on X Twitter. When I go live from now on. I just have to remember it every time. Okay. Ta-ta-da, what to do. Bhagavata. And my theory is that since I've read the Garuda Purana completely, I've probably made some mistakes here and there, about 90% accurate. So that's why I'm gonna read it 2 more times, at least. What that means is I think my Sanskrit studies is gonna get easier from there. I'm also healing as well. These things are all connected. If I'm getting better, then my surroundings are getting better, etc., etc. Alright, so Raga Veda, chapter 128. Here we go. Please let it be short. Wow, it's long. It's really, no, it's 8 verses, but long verses. Here we go. Namaste. Ayam Jayata Manushwa Tari Manui Hotan Yajishita Ushijan Manu Pratamagniha Sivamanu Pratama Pishivashirusutui Sakiyate Rairivan Shiravasyate Adabuto Hotan Ni Shodadilosupade Paribita Ilosupade Tam Yajinyasa Tamapi Pataya Masiuru Tasya Siaru Pataya Masiaru Tasya Patan Namasa Havishimatan Devatan Havishimatan. My theory is that it's gonna be more effective, my Sanskrit, like in changing things and healing myself. Sa na ulja mupa puratyaya kripa na juriati yam matarishva manabe paravato devam pahu paravatahu Ebena Sadiahu Balteti Baltivam Muhulgi Rato Purushapahu Ganikradadu Data Ganikradadu da Tatratahu Ganikradadu Data Tratahu Ganikradatu Shatam Jakusho Nuo Agusha Pildevo Vaneshu Tulvanui Sado Latana Upareshu Sanushivagani Pareshu Sanushu Sa Sukratuhu Purohito Tamedagani Riajinyasya Tvarasya Jatati Gratavan Yajinyasya Jatati Gratavan Betan Ishu Yate Pishavan Jatani Pasapashe Yato Krita Shri Ratitira Jayata Bahanil Beta Ajayata Gratava Yadasya Davishuishu Buruncha Tegunerabeno Marutam Na Pujya Shuraya Na Pujya Sahi Shuma Danaminen Bati Pasunam Ja Majimana Sa Nasatra Sate Durita Dapihu Nutahu Durit Kurutahu Durita Dapihurutahu Shamsa Daka Dapihurutahu Shamsa Daka Dapihurutahu Vishivo 비하야 아라틸바술다테 하세테 다쿠슈이누에 따라누일나 시시라 탁즈 츠라바 시시라 탁즈 츠라 시시라 탁즈 시시라 탁즈 츠라 시시라 탁즈 츠라 시시라 탁즈 탁 시시라 탁즈 츠라바시야야 나 시시라 타트 비시바스마 이디슈티아테 데바트라 하비아모히슈에 비시바스마 이트수크르테 바라무르는 바티아그닐드바 바라무르는 바티아그닐드바라 one more sorry 바야무르는 바티아그닐드바라 비아르는 sorry now I need water sorry 부르는 비아르는 바티 사 마누슈에 부르자네 샴사모 히토그니리아 지니에슈 제니오 나 비시파티흐 브리오 야지니에슈 비시파티흐 사 하비야 마누슈노 밀러 그르타니 바티아테 사 나스트라 사테 바루너시아 둘텔마호 데바시아 둘테흐 아그님 호타라밀러테 바수티팀 브리암 제티슈터 마라팀 냐리레 하비아바함 냐리레 비시바욤 비시바베다삼 호타람 야자땀 까비므 데바소 라는 바마바세 바수야보 길비 라는 밤 바수야바흐 나마스테 By Manu's law was born this Agni, priest most skilled, born for the holy work of those who yearn therefor, yea, born for his own holy work. All ear to him who seeks his love, and wealth to him who strives for fame. Priest never deceived, he sits in Allah's holy place, girt round in Allah's holy place. We call that perfecter of worship by the path of sacrifice, with reverence rich in offerings, with worship rich in offerings. Through presentation of our food, he grows not old in this his form. The God whom Ma Tarishavan brought from far away, Brahmanu brought from far away. In order to course forthwith, he traverses the earth, swift swallowing, bellowing steer, bearing the genial seed, bearing the seed and bellowing. Observant with 100 eyes, the God is conqueror in the wood. Agni, who hath his seat in broad plains here below, and in the highlands far away. That Agni, wise high priest, in every house takes thought for sacrifice and holy service, yea, takes thought with mental power for sacrifice. Disposer, he with mental power shows all things unto him who strives. Once he was born a guest enriched with holy oil, born as ordainer and as priest. When through his power and in his strong prevailing flames, the moderate gladdening boons mingle with Agni's roar, boons gladdening for the active one. Then he accelerates the gift, and by the greatness of his wealth shall rescue us from overwhelming misery, from curse and overwhelming woe. Best, universal, good, he was made messenger. The speeder with his right hand hath not loosed his hold. Through love of fame not loosed his hold. He bears oblations to the gods for whosoever supplicates. Agni bestows a blessing on each pious man, and opens wide the doors for him. That Agni hath been set most kind in camp of men, and sacrificed like a lord victorious, like a dear lord in sacred rites. His are the oblations of mankind when offered up at Illo's place. He shall preserve us from Varuna's chastisement, yea, from the great god's chastisement. Agni the priest they supplicate to grant them wealth. Him dear, most thoughtful, have they made their messenger. Him offering bearer have they made. Beloved of all, who knoweth all, the priest, the holy one, the sage. Him, friend for help, the gods when they are famed for wealth. Him, friend with hymns, when famed for wealth. Okay. I'll take a little break. Yeah, I think I'm healing a little bit, a little by little. Okay, I think I'm ready. So, Yoga Sutra starts with 23. I think it's another long one. I wanna, you know what? Maybe I'll do Bhagavad Gita first. And if I have time, I'll do Yoga Sutras. Okay, because I didn't do it yesterday. So I'll do Bhagavad Gita, and now it's chapter 6. Okay, here we go. Mata Shashutotyayaha Atmasamyama Yogaha Shri Bhagavan Anashritaha Kaima Palam Karyam Kaima Karoti Yaha Sa Samnyasi Ja Yogi Ja Na Niraganina Ja Kriyaha Yam Samnya Samiti Brahuri Yogam Tam Viditi Panandava 나 히야 삼니야 스타 상은 까르포 요기 바바티 까시잖아 아르로구 슐무네리오감 깔마 까라노무지아테 요가 루터시아 다시아에바 샤마흐 까라노무지아테 야다 히 내는들이야 태슈 나 깔마스바누 셔주자떼 살바상은 까를바 삼니아시 요가루 터스따도지아떼 우드타레다 뜨마낫 우드타레다 뜨마나 뜨마남 나 뜨마나마바사다야뜨 아 뜨마이바 히야 뜨마노 바는투라 뜨마이바 비뿌라 뜨마나흐 마는투라 뜨마 뜨마나스타시야 예나 뜨마이바 뜨마나 지타흐 아나 뜨마나수투 샤투루뜨베 발테따 뜨마이바 샤투루뜨바뜨 지타 뜨마나흐 프라샤는 따시야 파라마 뜨마 사마히타흐 시도시너 수카투 케슈 따타 마나파마나요흐 지냐나 비지냐나 뜨르프타 뜨마 구떠스토 비지때는 드리야흐 유크타 이티우지아테 요기 사마로실터 시마칸 짜나흐 수흐르는 메트라 리우다 시나마티아스타드 베시어바는 투슈 almost. I just want to check how long this thing is today. 30, 40, 47. Medium sized. A little longer. 수흐르는 미트라 리우다 시나마티아스타 베시어 바는 투슈 수흐르는 미트라 리우다 시나마티아스타드 베시어 수흐르는 미트라 리우다 시나마티아스타드 베시어 바는 투슈 사 투시바삐 자 빠베슈 사마보드 틸비시시어때 요기 윤지다 사타타마 드마남 라하시 스티타흐 에까기 야타치트타 드마 니라시라 파리그라하흐 슈짱 테셰 파라티슈투비아 스티라마 사나마 드마나흐 나디우츠치리탐 나디니 짬 잘라지나 쿠쇼트 따라무 따트라이까 그람 마나흐 그르트바 야따치트 때는 드리야 그리야흐 우파비시야 사네 윤지야 디오가 마트마 윤지야 디오가 마트마비 슈드타예 윤지야 디오가 마트마비 슈드타예 사맘 가야시로그리 가야시로그리밤 샤 가야시로그리밤 다라야는 나짤람 스티라흐 삼은 브레쿠슈여 나시카그람 스밤 디샤시짜나바 로카야느 브라샤는 따뜨마 비가타 빌 브라흐마짜리 브라테 비가타 빌 브라흐마짜리 브라테 스티타흐 마나흐 사미야미야 마츠치트토 유쿠타 아시타 마트파라흐 윤자는 내밤 사다드마남 요기 니아타마나사흐 샤는팀 밀바너 바라맘 마트 삼세타 마티가츠 차띠 나티아시나타스투 요고스티 나 짜이까는 따마 나시나타흐 짜이까는 따마 나시나타흐 나 짜티스바프나시라시야 자그라토 나이바 짜주나 유쿠타하라 비하라시야 유쿠타체시토시야 가이마수 유쿠타스바프나 바보타시야 요고 바바티 두허카하 야다 비니야탐 지드타마트마니에바 바티슈토트 지드타마트마니에바 바티슈토트 니허스푸르하흐 살바카메피오 유쿠타 이티우치아테 따다 야타 디포 니바 따스토 냉은가테 소파마 스무르타 요기노 야타치트타시야 윤자토 요가마 드마나흐 야트로 파라마테 제트탐 니루드탐 요가세바야 야트라 자이바 드마남 파시아는 나 드마니 두시어티 수카마 디아는티캄 야트타드 무드티그라 히야마티는 드리야무 베트티 야트라 나 자이바얌 스티타시잘라티 따뜨드바타흐 얌 라브트바 자바람 라밤 마니아테 나 티캄 따타흐 다스미는 스티토 나 두허케 다스미는 스티토 나 두허케나 구르너비 비짱리아테 땀 비디아드 두허카사미요가 비요감 요가 삼진이 땀 나 네시자야나 요크다비 요크다비오 I just want to double check something. 6:23. 요크다, yeah, okay. 요건 일반은 너 짰다상 상은가를 빠빠라파바는 까맘스티아크드바 살바나 셰셔타흐 마나사에베는 드리아그라맘 비니야미야 사마는 따따흐 샤나이루 파라메드 무드티야 트르티그르히다야 드마 삼스탐 마나흐 그르트바 나 긴치다피 지는따야트 야또 네시짜라티 마나시 짠짤라 마스티라마 따따스따또 니아미아이 따다 드마니에바 바샴 나야트 브라샤는 따마나삼 브라샤는 따마나삼 히에남 요기남 수카무드 따마무 우파이티 샤는 따라자삼 브라흐마푸 따마까를 마셔무 윤자는 네밤 사다드마남 요기 비가타까를 마셔흐 수케나 브라흐마 삼스팔샤마티아는 땀 브라흐마 삼스팔샤마티아는 땀 수카마슈누테 살바푸 따스타마 드마남 살바푸 따니 짜드마니 이구셔테 요가 유그타 드마 살바트라 사마달샤나흐 살바트라 사마달샤나흐 yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mayi pashyati tasyaham na pranoshyami sa cha me na pranoshyati sarva bhutastitam yo mam bhajati ekatva stitaha sarvata 발타마노피 사 요기 마이 발타테 아드마우파미에나 살바트라 사맘 파시아티 욜주나 수캄 바 야디 바 두허캄 사 요기 바라모 마타흐 갈주나 우바짜 요얌 요가스티 요가스트바야 프로크타흐 사미에나 마투수다나 에타시아함 나 파시아미 짠짤라트바트 스티팀 스티람 짠짤람 히 마나흐 그르셔너 브라마티 발라바드 느르터무 타시아함 니그라함 마니에 바요리바 수두시카라무 Shri Bhagavan Asamshayam Mahabaho Mano Tulnigraham Chalam Apyasena Tu Kaununteya Vairagyeno Cha Gruhyate Asamyata Temana Yogo Dushiprapa Iti Me Matihu Pashyatmana tu yatata shakyoba putum yataha Arjuna uvacha ayatiha shradatayo peto yoga chachalita manasaha aprapya yoga samsiddhitim kam gatim 그르셔너 까츠차티 까츠찌는 노 파야 비프라실드 까츠찌는 노 파야 비프라실드 쉐츠치는 나 프라미와 까츠치는 노 파야 비프라실드 쉐치는 나 프라미바 나시아티 아프라티슈투어 마하바호 Vimutuo Brahmanoha Pati 10 verses left. Etaname Samshayam Kuroshano Chatutu Mahasya Sheshataha Tuvadaniyaha Samshayasya Sya Chatutana Yupapadyate Shri Bhagavan Palta Naibeha Namudra Vinashastasya Vidyate Na Hi Kalyana Kurutu Kashichidu Dulgatim Tata Kachachati Prapya Punuya Kurutam Lokanushitava Shashivati Samaha Lokanushvitva Shashivati Samaha Shuchinam Shri Matam Kehe Yoga Prashurto Pijayate Atava Yoginam Eva Kule Pavati Ti Matam Etadati Dulapataram Loke Janama Yadi Durusham Tatra Tam Buddhiti Samyogam Lapate Balvadehikam Yatate Ja Tato Puyaha Samsiddhitao Guru Nanandana Bulva Pyasana Tenaiva Huriyate Yavashopi Saha Jijinya Surapi Yogasya Shabda Brahma Tibaltate Prayatna Dhyatama Nasutu Yogi Samshuddhakil Vishaha Aneka janama samsiddhi tasitato yati param gatimu tapasvi pyotiko yogi jinyani pyopi matotikahu kalma pyashijan tiko yogi tasamadi yogi pabanjuna. Yeah, last verse. Yoginam api saibeshum madgatena nantara temana shiradetabanan pajate yo mam sa me yukutatamu matahu Tatu saditi Shri Mad Bhagavad Gita Supanishatusu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Juna Sambade Atma Samyama Yogo Nama Shashtotyayah. Namaste. Yeah, I'm healing little by little. The Holy One said, regardless of fruit of action, he that performs the actions which should be performed is a renouncer and devotee, and not one who discards the fire, nor one that abstains from action. That which has been called renunciation, know that, O son of Pandu, to be devotion, since nobody can be a devotee who has not renounced resolves. To the sage desirous of rising to devotion, action is said to be the means, and when he has risen to devotion, cessation of action is said to be the means. When one is no longer attached to the objects of the senses, nor to actions, and when one renounces all resolves, then is one said to have risen to devotion. One should raise self by self. One should not degrade self, for one's own self is one's friend, and one's own friend is one's enemy. To him who has subjugated his self by his self is self a friend, but to him who has not subjugated his self behaves inimically like an enemy. The soul of one who has subjugated his self and who is in the enjoyment of tranquility is steadily fixed amid cold and heat, pleasure and pain, and also honor and dishonor. That ascetic is said to be devoted, whose mind is satisfied with knowledge and experience, who hath no affection, who hath subjugated his senses, and to whom a sod, a stone, and gold are alike. He who views equally well-wishers, friends, foes, strangers that are indifferent to him, those that take part with both sides, those that are objects of aversion, those that are related, those that are good, and those that are wicked, is distinguished. A devotee should always fix his mind on contemplation, remaining in a secluded place alone, restraining both mind and body, without expectations and without concern, erecting his seat immovably on a clean spot, not too high nor too low, and spreading over it a piece of cloth, a deerskin or blades of gusha grass, and there seated on that seat, with mind fixed on one object, and restraining the functions of the heart and the senses, one should practice contemplation for the purification of self. Holding body, head, and neck even, unmoved and steady, and casting his glance on the tip of his nose, and without looking about in any of the different directions, with mind in tranquility, freed from fear, observant of the practices of brahmacharis, restraining the mind, with heart fixed on me, the devotee should sit down regarding me as the object of his attainment. Thus applying his soul constantly, the devotee whose heart is restrained attains to that tranquility which culminates in final absorption and assimilation with me. Devotion is not one's O Arjuna who eateth much, nor one's who doth not eat at all, nor one's who is addicted to too much sleep, nor one's who is always awake. Devotion that is destructive of misery is his who is temperate in food and amusements, who duly exerts himself temperately in all his works, and who is temperate in sleep and vigils. When one's heart, properly restrained, is fixed on one's own self, then indifferent to all objects of desire, is one called a devotee. As a lamp in a windless spot doth not flicker, even that is the resemblance declared of a devotee whose heart hath been restrained, and who applieth his self to abstraction. That in which the mind, restrained by practice of abstraction, taketh rest, in which beholding self by self one is gratified within self, in which one experienceth that highest felicity which is beyond the senses, and which the understanding can grasp, and fixed on which one never swerveth from the truth, acquiring which one regards no other acquisition greater than it, and abiding in which one is never moved by even the heaviest sorrow, that should be known to be what is called devotion, in which there is a severance of connection with pain. That devotion should be practiced with perseverance and with an undesponding heart, renouncing all desires without exception that are born of resolves, restraining the entire group of the senses on all sides by mind alone. One should by slow degrees become quiescent, by understanding controlled by patience, and then directing his mind to self should think of nothing. Wheresoever the mind, which is restless and unsteady, may run, restraining it from those, one should direct it to self alone. Indeed, unto such a devotee whose mind is in tranquillity, whose passions have been suppressed, who hath become one with Brahma, and who is free from sin, the highest felicity cometh. Thus applying his soul constantly, the devotee, free from sin, easily obtaineth the highest happiness, viz., contact with Brahma. He that hath devoted self to abstraction, casting an equal eye everywhere, beholdeth his self in all creatures, and all creatures in himself. Unto him that beholdeth me in everything, and beholdeth everything in me, I am never lost, and he also is never lost to me. He that worshippeth me as abiding in all creatures, holding that all is one, is a devotee, and whatever mode of life he may lead, he liveth in me. That devotee, O Arjuna, who casteth an equal eye everywhere, regarding all things as his own self, and the happiness and misery of others as his own, is deemed to be the best. Arjuna said, this devotion by equanimity which thou hast declared, O slayer of Matu, from restlessness I do not see its stable presence. O Krishna, the mind is restless, boisterous, perverse, and obstinate. Its restraint I regard to be as difficult of accomplishment as of the wind. The Holy One said, without doubt, O thou of mighty arms, the mind is difficult of subjugation and restless. With practice, however, O son of Kunti, and with the abandonment of desire, it is controlled. It is my belief that by him whose mind is not restrained, devotion is difficult of acquisition, but by one whose mind is restrained and who is assiduous, it is capable of acquisition with means. Arjuna said, without assiduity, endue with faith, with mind shaken off from devotion. What is the end of him, O Krishna, who hath not earned success in devotion? Fallen off from both, is he lost like a separated cloud, or not, being without refuge, O thou of mighty arms, and deluded on the path? This my doubt, O Krishna, it behoveth thee to remove without leaving anything. Besides thee, no dispeller of this doubt is to be had. The Holy One said, O son of Purta, neither here nor hereafter doth ruin exist for him, since none, O sire, who performs good comes by an evil end. Attaining to the regions for those that perform meritorious acts, and living there for many, many years, he that hath fallen off from devotion taketh birth in the abode of those that are pious and endue with prosperity. Or he is born even in the family of devotees endue with intelligence. Indeed, a birth such as this is more difficult of acquisition in this world. There he obtaineth contact with that knowledge which was his in his former life, and from that point he striveth again, O descendant of Guru, towards perfection. And although unwilling, he still worketh on in consequence of that same former practice of his. Even one that inquireth of devotion riseth above the divine word. Striving with great efforts, the devotee, cleansed of all his sins, attaineth to perfection after many births, and then reacheth the supreme goal. The devotee is superior to ascetics engaged in austerities. He is esteemed to be superior to even the man of knowledge. The devotee is superior to those that are engaged in action. Therefore become a devotee, O Arjuna. Even amongst all the devotees, he who, full of faith, and with inner self resting on me, worshipeth me, it is regarded by me to be the most devout. Okay, I'm gonna take a little break. Okay, I'm back. So it's Yoga Sutra, starting from 23. If you notice, 23 in Sanskrit is saying almost same thing as 23 numerical. Namaste. Samyogasvarupa pitit sayadam sutram prabhavrate subhasubha mishak Sva Mishakatiyoha, Svaru Pobalabati, Svaru Pobalabati Hetuha, Samiyogaha, Purushaha, Svami Durushyena, Svena Darshana Altam, Samyukataha, Tasmat Samyoga Durushya, Tasmat Samyoga Durushyatyo Palabati, Tasmat Samyoga Durushyasyo Palabatiya, Shya, Tasmat Samyoga Durushyasyo Palabatiya, Sa Pogaha, Yang Tu Terashurtuha, Sivaru Popalabatiha, Sopabaigaha, Darshana Sakarya Vasanaha, Samyoga Iti Darshanam, Piyogasya Karanamukutama, Darshanama Darshanasya, Prati Devam Devidya, Prati Devam Devi, Prati Devam Devidya Darshanam, Deva, Prati Devam Deva, Prati Devam Deva, Prati Devam Deva Dya Darshanam, Samyoga Nimitta Mukutama, Samyoga Nimitta Mukutama, Natra Darshanam, Mokushakara Noma Darshana, Mokushakara Noma Darshana, Mokushakara Noma Darshanam, Mokushakara Noma Darshana, Mokushakara Noma Darshana, Pava Deva, Pananta Pavaha, Sa Mokusha Iti, Darshanasya Pave, Panantakara Nosya Darshana, Panantakara Nosya Darshanasya, Nasha Itiato, Darshanam Jinyanam, Kaivalyakara no Mukutama, Kim Chedama Darshanam, Nama Kim Gunonamatikara, Ahosubadu Durushi, Ahosubidu Durushi Rupasya, Shi, Ahosubadurushi, Ahosubadu Durushi Rupasya, Suvamino, Dashita Vishoyasya, Pratana Chitutasya Nutupa, Pratana Chitutasya Nutupadaha, Suvasuminun Durushiye, Vidyamane Yo Darshana Pavaha, Gimaltavatata, Gunonama. Need to double check the spelling. Gunonama Atavidya Svachitana Saha Nirudita Svachitasyota Patati Bijama Kim Sthiti Samskara Kushoye Sakati Samskara Kati Samskara Pivyakatiha Yatrada Mukutam Prathanam Sthitiaiva Paltamanam Vikarakaranota Pratha Vikarakaranota Prathanam Syat Tatha Katyaiva Paltamanam Vikaranityatavada Prathanam Syat Upayatha Jasya Purutatiha Pratana Vyavaharam Lapate na Nyatha Karanon Tareshivapi Karipiteshivap 까르피테 시베바 사마나시 짤짜흐 달샤나 샤크티레바 달샤나 샤크티레바 달샤나 미티에케 프라타나시아 드마키야 마날 프라타나시아 드마키야 바날 타 브라브르트티흐 이티슈르테흐 살바보티아 보타 사말타흐 브라크 브라브르트테흐 브라크 브라브르트테흐 부르쇼 나 파시아티 살바카리아 카라너 사말탐 드르시암 따다 나 드르시아따 이티 우파야시아 비아달샤남 달마 이티에케 따트레담 드르시아시아 스바드마푸 따마피 부르셔 프라티아야 베쿠셴. This word has like 3 different versions. Scared. And 4 versions actually. Eya yame bekush yam pratya yama bekushu pratya yama bekushuyu purusha pratya yama bekushuyu and pratya yama bekushuyu da purusha pratya yama bekushuyu dalchanam one more. Purusha pratya yama bekushuyu purusha pratya yama purusha pratya yama bekushuyu dalchanam shuyu purusha pratya yama bekushuyu dalchanam. Okay. And the second version. Bekusha mata bekusha shama bekusha ma purusha pratyaya bekusha madashanam purusha pratyaya bekusha madashanam daishanam Durusya talmat bena pavati Durusya talmat bena pavati tata purushasya natma putamapi Durusya pratyaya bekusham. Number 3. Dya yama bekushuya yama bekushuya Durusya pratyaya yama bekushuya Okay. Purusha talmat beneba dashanamaba Purusha talmat beneba dashanamaba pasate. It's number 4. Benaiba Batte benaiba Naiba Benat Betnaiba Benaiba. Okay. Purusha talmat benaiba dashanamaba pasate. Purusha talmat beneba Purusha talmat benaiba dashanamaba pasate. Daishanam jinyanameva daishanamiti Gechida pidatati itiete shasutragata pikarepah tatra pikarepabahut pametat salva 빛깔을 빠바후트 밤에 빛깔을 빠바후트 바후트 빛깔을 빠바후트 밤에 따뜻살바 부르쇼놈 구노남. Number 5. 구노삼 구노삼 구노삼이요게 삼이요게 사타라노 비셔무. Yay. The intent of this sutra is to describe what the correlation itself is. The reason for the apperception of what the power of the property and of what the power of the proprietor are is correlation. The self as proprietor becomes correlated for the purpose of sight with the object for sight as property. That apperception of the object for sight which results from this correlation is experience, whereas the apperception of what the seer is liberation. Since the correlation lasts until sight is affected, sight is said to be the cause of this correlation. Since sight and non-sight are opposite to each other, non-sight is said to be the instrumental cause of correlation. Sight in this is not the cause of release, but the absence of bondage results from the absence of non-sight. This is release. Where there is sight, non-sight, which is the cause of bondage, ceases. Thus the perception, which is sight, is said to be the cause of isolation. And what is this so-called non-sight? Is it the authority of the aspects? Or is it the case that, when in the primary cause, the mind stuff, by which the objects are shown to the proprietor in his capacity as seer, fails to produce, there is non-sight, although the property, the object for sight, exists? Or is it that the aspects possess the intended objects? Or is undifferentiated consciousness, which, together with its own mind stuff, has been restricted, the seat for the production of its peculiar mind stuff? Or is it the manifestation of subliminal impressions in motion after the subliminal impressions in equilibrium have dwindled away, of which this has been said? The primary cause, if it existed on the one hand in equilibrium only, would be a non-primary cause, because it would not cause any evolved effect. Similarly, if on the other hand it existed in motion only, it would be a non-primary cause, because the evolved effects will be permanent. And since it does act in both ways, it is ordinarily termed primary substance, not otherwise. Also with regard to other supposed causes, the same reasoning. According to some, non-sight is nothing but the power by which one sees. As the sacred word says, the primary cause acts with the intent of displaying itself. The self capable of illuminating all illuminable things does not, before the primary cause acts, see. The object for sight capable of making all kinds of effects is not then seen. According to others, non-sight is a property of both kinds also. From this point of view, the sight, although independent of the object for sight, requires a presented idea of the self, and so is a property of the object for sight. Similarly, sight, although not independent of the self, still requires a presented idea in the object for sight, and appears as if it were actually a property of the self. Certain others assert that non-sight is only the perception by sight. These are the alternatives found in the books on this. These many alternatives deal with the common subject matter, the correlation of all the selves with the aspects. Namaste. Yasutu Pratyakuchatanasya 스바부드티 사미요가흐 다시야 헤투라비디양. Ooh, I'm scared. What is that? 무드티 사미요가시야 헤투흐 이티 빵토 비디아테 사 브라마디카흐. 에타스마트 브라크 보스타케 무드티 사미요가시야 헤투흐 이티 빵토 비디아테 사 브라마디카흐. I hope I cover myself. 비파리아 야지냐나바 사네 띠알타. 비파리아 야지냐나바 사네 띠알타흐. 몸물. 비파리아 야지냐나바 사네 띠알타흐. 비파리아 야지냐나바 사나바 시타. 비파리아 야지냐나바 사나바 시타. 나 자, 나, 가리안디슈텀, 부르셔키아팀, 무드티흐, 브라브노티, 사티가라, 보나라발타테, 사두, 부르셔키아티, 파리아, 부르셔키아티 파리아바사남, 보르셔니아타. 부르셔니아타 키아티 파리아바사남. 사나가 보르셔키아티 파리아 보르셔키아티 파리아바사나. That means I have to do another version. 셔니아타 부르셔니아타 키아티 파리아바사나. 가리아니슈텀 브라브노티 짜리타 티카라 니브르트타 다이샤나 바는타카라노 바바는나 보나라 발타테 아트라 까시체트 빠는더 꼬빠키 까시체트 빠는더 꼬빠키야 네노드타라 다 가트도였디. Double check. Yep. 까시체트 빠는더 꼬빠키야 네노드 가토야티. 까시체트 빠는더 꼬빠키야 네노드 까시체트 빠는더 꼬빠키야 네노드 가토야티. 무그타야 파리아야 피티야테 빠는더 까리아 뿌뜨라 아바티 메 파기니 끼말탐 nama, nama, nahamiti sa tamaha, nahamiti sa tamaha. Sorry. Murutasate hama, murutasate hama patiya mutpada yishyamiti. Murutasate hama, murutasate hama patiyat, murutasate hama patiya mutpada yishya. Murutasate ma, murutasate hama patiyat, murutasate maha, tehama, murutasate hama patiya mutpada yishyamiti. Tatedam vidyamanam, vidyamanam, chinyanam, chititani vurtatim, na karoti, vinashatam, karishyoti, karishyoti, ka pratyajinya, pratyasha, pratya, double check. I think the first version was correct. Sha, well, second version. Pratyasha, tatra charya deshiyo, bhakti, nanu, buddhatini, buddhatini buddhatireva, mogusho darshanakara no pavad buddhatini, mogusho darshana, mogusho darshana, mogusho darshanakara no pavad buddhatini buddhatiha. One more. How long is this? Almost done. Mokusho daishanakara no pavad buddhatini buddhatiha. Buddhatini buddhatiha. Mokusho daishanakara no pavad buddhatini buddhatiha. Yay. Tachicha daishanam. Vanantakaranam. Daishanana nibaltate. Daishanana nibaltate. Tatra Chititani Purutatireva Mokushaha Kimaltamasatana Evasya Mati Vipramaha. Evasya Mati Vipramaha. But when there is a correlation of an individual consciousness with its own thinking substance, the reason for this is undifferentiated consciousness. In other words, is a subconscious impression from erroneous thinking. The thinking substance pervaded by subconscious impressions from erroneous thinking does not attain to the discernment of the self, which is the goal of its actions, returns again with its task yet unfulfilled. But that which terminates in the discernment of the self attains the goal of its actions, and its task done, and its non-sight repressed, does not, since the cause of its bondage no longer exists, return again. Some person ridicules this with the anecdote of the impotent man. He is told by his simple-minded wife, "O impotent, my wedded lord, my sister has a child. For what reason have not I?" He says to her, "When I am dead, I will beget thee a son." Similarly, since this thinking, even while existing, does not make a repression of mind stuff, what expectation is there that it will in the future make it cease to be? On this point, one who is almost a master says, "Is release anything but the cessation of the thinking substance?" When there's no cause of non-sight, the thinking substance ceases. And this non-sight, which is the cause of bondage, ceases when there is sight. Then release is nothing but the cessation of the thinking substance. Why then is there this confusion of ideas of his that is so much out of place? I'm going to take a little break. Yeah, maybe go for another half an hour. No more than 2 hours. Wow. Okay, I'm back. So today smoother than usual. It's always trouble, but I'm not bothered as much as before. I'm not pulling my hair out. This thing helps. Heyam, tuhakam, heyak, heyakaranom, heyakarano, no. Heyakaranom cha, samyoga kiam, sanimi teta mukutamata, sanimi teta mukutamata param, hanam, pakutavyam, tadapavat samyoga pavo, hanam, tadudurushehu, kaivalyam, tasya dashanasya pavad buddhi purusha, tasya dashanasya pavad buddhi purusha samyoga pava. I said it right. Should I just leave it? Tasya darshanasya pavad buddhati purusha samyoga pava atyanantiko panantanoparama ityartah etadata nam tadadrisheh kaivalyam purushasya shri purushasya shri pavah. Purushasya shri pavah Punara samyogo gunoirityartah tuhakakarana nipurtatao tuhakoparamo hanam tada sivarupa pratishitah purusha ityukutam. The pain which is to be escaped and the cause of pain, the so-called correlation, together with their reasons, have been described. Next, the higher escape is to be described. Since this does not exist, there is no correlation. This is the escape, the isolation of the seer. Since this non-sight does not exist, there is no correlation of the thinking substance and of the self. In other words, a complete ending of bondage. This is the escape, the isolation of the seer, the unmixed state of the self. In other words, the state in which is not again correlated with aspects. Upon the repression of the cause of pain, there follows the ending of pain, the escape. Then the self is said to be grounded in his own self. Yeah, I'm almost there actually. Ata hanasya kahu praputiupaya iti vivekakyatira viplava hanopayah. Sattatva purusha niyata pratyayo vivekakyatih sa devani burtata mitya jiñana plavate yada mitya jiñanam dagatabi japavam manantya prasavam sampadyate tada vitu taklesha rajasah vitu Bitu taklesha raja saha. Bitu taklesha raja saha. Satitvasyam. Pare. Vaisharadye. Parasyam. Vashikara samjinyayam. Valtamanasya. Viveka pratyaya prabha. Viveka pratyaya prabha. Viveka pratyaya. Sorry. Viveka pratyaya. Viveka pratyaya prabhaho. Nimalo pavati. Sa. Viveka khyatira viplava. Hanopayah. Number 1. Hanasya. Hanasyopa. 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 Hanasyopayah. Tato mitya jinyanasya dagtabi japa vopagamah punashecha prasava ityesha mokushasya margo hanasyopaya iti. Now, what is the means of attaining escape? The means of attaining escape is unwavering discriminative discernment. Discriminative discernment of the presented idea of the difference between Sattva and the self. But this discernment wavers when erroneous perception is not repressed. When erroneous perception, reduced to the condition of burnt seed, fails to reproduce itself, then the flow of the presented ideas of discrimination belonging to the Sattva, which is cleansed from rajas belonging to the hindrances, and which continues in the higher clearness, in the higher consciousness of being mastered, becomes stainless. This unwavering discriminative discernment is the means of escape. After this, erroneous perception tends to become reduced to the condition of burnt seed, and its failure to reproduce itself is the path to release, the way of approach to escape. Tasya sabdata prananta bhumiha prajinya. I'm gonna double check this. 27. Tasyati pratyuditakhyateh pratyamanayah. Double check. Sabdatati ashuditya varanomal ashuditya varanomala bhagama chichitasya pratyayanantara nutupade pratyayanantara nutupade sati sabdataiva sabda prakaraiva prajinya vivekino bhavati tadyatha parijinyatam heyam nasya punah parijinyyamasati. No, I want to double check. Kushino heya hetavo na punareteshwam shunareteshwam puna. It has to be puna. Yeah. Kushwetavyamasti sa kushatukurutam nirutasama. No, it's fuzzy text again. Nirota Samadhina. Hanama. Pabito. Vivekakhyati rupo. Viveka. Yeah. Hanopaya iti. Eshu. Chatushirtoyi. Karya. Karyapi. Karya vimukatiha. Vimukatiha. Prachinyaya. Cetita vimukati sutu. Trayi. Charita Tikara. Charita Tikara. Buddhatiha. Guna. Kirishikara Tato. Kirishikara Tato Jiuta. Kirishikara Tato. This number 2. Kurta. I think it's this version. Kirishikara Kurta Jiuta. Kirishikara Kurta Jiuta. Ivan Gravano. So fuzzy. Niravasutanaha Sivakaranoe Pralaya Pimukaha Saha Denasitam Gachachananti Na Jaishwam Prabilinanam Punarasati Utapadaha Prayojana Pavaditi Etasya Mavasitai. Prayojana. I don't see it. Prayojana. Etasya Mavasitayam. Gunosambanan tati. Gunosambanan tati taha. Sivarupamatra Jyotiramalaha. Kavali Purusha iti. Etam Sabutavitam. Prananta Pumi Prachinya. Prananta. Prananta Pumi Prajinyaman. Prananta Pumi Prajinyamanupashyanam Purushaha. Prananta Pumi Prajinyamanupashyanam Purushaha. Kushala Ityakhyayate. Pratiprasavepi Chittatasya Bhukataha. Kushala Ityeva Pavati Gunati Tattavaditi. Prati. Different word. That's why I don't read that version. For him, insight sevenfold, and advancing in stages to the highest. The words for him refer to him in whom discernment is re-uprisen. The word sevenfold means that the insight of the discriminating, after the removal of the defilements from the covering of impurity, when no other kind of presented idea is generated in the mind stuff, has just 7 forms as follows. The thing to be escaped has been thought out, nor need think it out again. The reasons for the thing to be escaped have dwindled away, nor need they dwindle away again. The escape is directly perceived by the concentration of restriction. The means of escape in the form of discriminative discernment has been cultivated. So this is the fourfold final release belonging to insight which may be effected. But the final release of the mind stuff is threefold. The authority of the thinking substance is ended. The aspects, like rocks fallen from the top of the mountain peak, without support, of their own accord, incline towards dissolution, and come with this, to rest. And when these are quite dissolved, they do not cause growth again, because there is no impelling cause. In this stage, the self has passed out of relation with the aspects, and, enlightened by himself and nothing more, is stainless and isolated. The self beholding the sevenfold insight advancing in stages to the highest is denominated fortunate. Even when there is also the inverted generation of the mind stuff, the self is said to be released, fortunate, because he has passed beyond the aspects. Okay, I'm gonna read maybe one more. This is the last one. Alright. Very readable, except the first page. Yeah. Bye. Okay, cool. Siddhata Pavati Pavati. Pavati Vivekakya Tilhanopaya. Vivekakya Tilhanopaya. Vivekakya Tilhanopaya iti na cha Siddhitira는 딸에너 사타나미띠에따다 라피아테 사타나미띠에따다 라피아테. Number 4. Test. 네. 미띠아 따스따다 미띠아 따스따다 미띠아 따스따다 사타나 미띠아 따스따다 사타나 미띠아 따스따다 라피아테 요강은가 누시터나 다슈드티크쇼예 요강은가 누시터나 다슈드티크쇼예 요강은가 누시터나 다슈드티크쇼예 Jiñanadiputira Vivekakhyateh Yogang Ganga Nyashirta Mapi. I want to double check this. Okay, never mind. Yogang Ganga Nyashirta Pita Yogang Ganga Nyashirta Test. Yogang Ganga Nyashirta Yogang Ganga Nyashirta Pita Yishiyamanoni Desha Manushirta Bai Banua Desha Manushirta Nat Pancha Bai Banua Desha Manushirta Deshwa Manushirta Deshwa Manushirta Nat Pancha Bai Banua Deshwa Manushirta Nat Pancha Bai Banua Viparya Yasya Shudatiru Pasya Viparya Yasya Shudatiru Pasya Kushoyo Na Shah Tat Kushoye Samyak Jinya Nasya Pibyak Dih Yatha Cha Sa Yatha Cha Satananya Nushirtui Yanante. Getting a little tired. Satananya Nushirtui Yanante. Tata Danutva Bama Shudatira Padyate Yatha Ja Kushuyate Tata Kushayakramanurotini Jinyanasyapi Dibutil Bibalta Dibutil Bibaltate Sa Karelvesho Viburudatiha Parakashamanu Pavatya Vivekakhyateh Gunapurusha Suvaru Pavijinyana Dityartah Gunapurusha Suvaru Pavijinyana Gunapurusha Suvaru Pavijinyana Dityartah Yogang Nushita Namashuddha Biyoga Sakara Nama Yogang Nushita Namashuddha Yogang Nushita Namashuddha Biyo Shuddha Yogang Nushita Namashuddha Biyogakara Nama Yatha Parashusha Chadyasya Vivekakya Tesutu Prapatikaranam Yatha Taimaha Sukhasya Nanyatha Karanam Gati Chaitani Karanani Shasatre Pavananti Nabaivetyaha Tadyatha 우드바드티 스티티아 피비아 그티 비가라 프라티아야 따야 더블 체크 우드 우드 따야 오케이 우드바드티 스티티아 피비아 그티 비가라 프라티아 뭐이씨 우드바드티 스티티아 피비아 그티 비가라 프라티아야 브타야흐 우드바드티 스티티아 피비아 그티 비가 우드바드티 스티티아 피비아 그티 비가라 프라티아야 우드바드티 스티티아 피비아 그티 비가라 프라티아야 브타야 Getting tired. 우드바드티 스티티아 피비아 그티 비가라 프라티아야 브타야흐 비오가니아뜨바 트르뜨타야흐 가라넘 나바타 스무르땀 이띠 따뚜로트 파트티 가라넘 마노 파바띠 진냐나시아 비진냐나시아 스티티 가라넘 마나사흐 부르셜 타타 샤리라시에바하라 이띠 아피비아크티 가라넘 야탕 루파시아 로카스타타 루파지냐남 비카라카라넘 마나소 비쇼야는 따라무 야타그니흐 바기아시아 브라티아야 가라넘 두마지냐나마그니지냐나시아 브라프티가라넘 요강은가 누슈트남 비베카키아테흐 비오가가라넘 다데바 슈드테흐 아니아뜨바가라넘 야타 수발노가라흐 에바메카시아 스트리 브라티아야시아 비디아 무터트베 더블 체크 스트리 브라티아 water 무터트베 where is it? Yeah. 스트리 브라티아야시아 sorry Namaste. 에바메카시아 에바메카시아 스트리 브라티아야시아 비디아 스트리 브라티아야시아 스트리 I don't have this problem when I'm chanting. Why is that? 스트리 브라티아야시아 비디아 무터트베 드베쇼 두허카트베 홈 스트레치 라가흐 수카트베 따테트바지냐남 마티아스티에 트르티카라넘 샤리라미는드리야넘 따니 짜따시아 마하푸다니 샤리라넘 Tani ja Parasparam Salveshum Dari Dairia Gyauna Gyauna Dairia Gyauna Manushab Daibatani Gyao 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 Dairia Gyauna Dairia Gyauna Manusha Daibatani Ja Parasparal Tattva Dityevam Parasparal Tattva Dityevam Nava Karanoni Tani Ja Yatha Sampabam Padal Tanan Tareshivapi Yojiani Yoganganga Nushirtanam Du Yoganganga Nushirtanam Du Dubitaiva Karanotvam Lapata Iti. That's the end of reading Sanskrit for today. When discriminative discernment is perfected, there is the means of escape, and there is no perfection without the means. So this is begun. After the aids to yoga have been followed up, when the impurity has dwindled, there is an enlightenment of perception reaching up to the discriminative discernment. The aids to yoga are the 8 which are about to be enumerated. As the result of following them up, there is a dwindling or cessation of the 5-sectioned misconception. Upon the dwindling of this follows the manifestation of focused thinking, and in proportion as the means. So the impurity is reduced to a state of attenuation, and in proportion as it dwindles, the enlightenment of perception also, in accordance with the degree of dwindling, increases. Now this same increase experiences a perfection reaching up to discriminative discernment, up to the perception which distinguishes between the aspects as such and the self. The following up of the aids to yoga is the cause of discorrelation with impurity, just as an axe, which is to be cut, now are the cause of attaining discriminative discernment, just as right living is to happiness. In other ways, it is not a cause. Furthermore, how many of these causes, according to the system, are there? Just 9, he says, as follows. Cause is 9-fold: rise and permanence and manifestation and modification and presentation and attainment and disjunction and transformation and sustentation. Of these, the cause of rise, the central organ of a mental process; the cause of permanence, the fact that the self has purposes, of the central organ, just as food, of the body; the cause of manifestation, the shining of color, just as the perception of color; the cause of modification, another object of sense, the central organ, just as fire, food to be cooked; the cause of presentation, the thought of smoke, of the thought of fire; the cause of attaining, the following up of the aids to yoga, discriminative discernment; the cause of disjunction, the same from impurity; the cause of transformation is, for instance, the goldsmith, the gold. Similarly, if a single presented idea of a woman has the quality of infatuation, undifferentiated consciousness; if it has the quality of painfulness, hatred; if it has the quality of pleasurability, passion; if it has the quality of the detached attitude, the recognition of the reality; the cause of sustentation, the body, the sense organs, and the great elements of bodies, and these reciprocally of all, since human and animal and supernormal bodies depend upon each other. So much then for the 9 causes. And these, so far as possible, are also to be applied to other things. But as for the following up of the ace to yoga, it comes into play as cause in 2 ways only. Okay, that's it, folks. Thank you very much. In King Ya Usha's name, God bless you. Oh wait, I'm gonna change this. So 28.